Oh, right. Oi, Waller, what the hell have you sent us into? It's a bloody war zone out here. There's a giant skull in the sky.
Congratulations, Task Force X. You're the first assets to make it into Metropolis alive. We're sending a signal transponder to your location. Your orders are to activate that transponder. Waller out.
Give me one reason why we should go out into that shit show.
The bombs, dumbass.
Morbid curiosity.
Ah!
Waller is not offering us a choice.
I'm ready to jump off the roof now.
Hello, welcome to PlayStation Access. My name is Dave, and I am joined today by Ash Millman.
Hello.
Who not only has played Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, but I am assured killed at least one member of the Justice League.
Oh, they delivered on that promise, all right.
Really?
Yeah, the Flash got it.
Really?
By me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Who were you playing as?
Well, it was Captain Boomerang who did the doing. I think everybody did the doing. I was playing as King Shark. I saw it, though.
I thought you'd play as King Shark, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. Ash, last year actually, went over to Rocksteady. I'm very jealous. I've always wanted to visit Rocksteady, one of our nation's great developers. You got to play the game.
I did.
And chat to the developers.
I did.
And I'd love to know your experience. I want to know everything about this game, basically.
Well, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is about the Suicide Squad. So let's just start at the beginning, where we've got 4 characters that compose up your main team, which you can play as cooperatively with 4 different people, or you can play solo and swap between them as you go through the game. So you've got Harley Quinn, you've got Deadshot, you've got King Shark, and you've got Captain Boomerang that all make up this nasty little team of baddies that all have unique powers, abilities, and things they can do throughout the game. And it's really fun. Like, I want to say that now the characters and the characterization of these people is amazing. Like, Rocksteady, I feel, are known for their cinematic approach to Batman games and kind of Batman stories. And all of that great narrative expertise definitely shines through all of these new characters as well, or returning characters in some cases. All of them are incredible voice actors. It feels very lived in, and like these are real, very foolish people doing a very chaotic, wild job because they're the only people that can do it. Amanda Waller's there absolutely busting your ass to go and kill the Justice League, and that is not like any sort of exaggeration or hyperbole. That's what you've got to do, and you've got to figure out how to do it. So they're taunting you, they're stronger than you, they'll appear throughout the game and just bother you a bit, really, because what are you to literal like gods of Metropolis?
What has happened to the Justice League?
So that's the question. They're not usually bad, are they?
No, I thought they were for justice.
Yeah, so it's not that you're playing as the baddies trying to kill the goodies. You are the goodies in this situation, and they have been basically affected or mind controlled, or something has happened to them in the wake of an alien invasion led by Brainiac, which is this massive skull in the middle of Metropolis that is doing all sorts of zaza all over everybody with his magical tentacles.
Technical term.
And he's got Green Lantern, the Flash, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman in his sights to corrupt, to use against the people of Metropolis. There's no civilians really left here unless you're playing like a little mini challenge, as they're all being transformed into beasts. And you see this in a really cool cutscene where Green Lantern is leading you through the city. You're strapped in like a roller coaster ride, being shown all these different things happening, and you see once the heroes of Metropolis now transforming people into mindless husks that you're then absolutely smashing the whole way through with combat all over the city. So that's very cool as well.
That's amazing. It's a formidable team, to be fair.
One of them's literally a big shark. I love him so much. I should talk about all of them, but I will talk about King Shark the most because he's my favourite. So you got Harley Quinn, who's like your acrobat, the clown princess of crime. Besides Batman, she's probably...
We know who Harley Quinn is.
She's a pretty big name. And she lives up to her whole status as crazy good fun, you know?
Yes,
the little
nice.
balance. Is she crazy? No, she's good fun.
Yeah.
Is she good fun? No, she's crazy.
Might be a little bit.
You've got Deadshot, who is marksman extraordinaire, the deadliest assassin in the world. And he's very good with guns. He's very good with them.
Yeah. Well, he's got to live up to his name.
Yeah. So he's a great one for kind of more ranged attack, taking a bit of fire away, coming in, moving around. He's very dynamic, but like I liked him more firing into the action. Harley's great kind of coming in and out with acrobatics. Then you've got Captain Boomerang, who has a boomerang and he's Australian.
Okay, that makes
why.
sense. That's what they've done there.
Yeah, and he's kind of a good mix of things because he is loaded up with a Speed Force Gauntlet, I think it's called. It's one of the artifacts I kind of get from the Hall of Justice, which is featured very heavily, which has all of these heroes in it. He can move around the map very quickly and just kind of not teleport, but almost teleport. It's very fast.
Okay.
That's why it's Speed Force.
Yeah.
So he's great for kind of fast, frenetic action that way. And then King Shark is your tank, your melee, your bruiser, your brawler, holds a minigun. He's very much death from above, comes up, jumps up, pounds down, blood frenzies in the air, he's sniffing out, he's punching faces in. Just a real good boy.
I don't have any familiarity with these characters apart from Harley Quinn outside of this game. Did you?
Not particularly. I've seen like the cinematic versions of it, so I've seen other people's interpretations of the comics, and I feel like this is another fresh take on them yet again, you know what I mean? Like, it's just very interesting. It's very character-led. This is a game for characters, so you don't need to know them. You will get to know them through the game. It's very easily picked up. I think there's a lot of like Easter egg moments and big reveals that are related to the comics and related to especially like comic book heroes and villains, like these big monikers and these big names you're going to hear. But they still hold impact because you're discovering them and learning about the relationships between all of these people as you meet them. Like, not every villain is going to know every hero, every other villain, or the relationship that the other ones have with them. Because you're a team of 4, you're all learning things all at the same time. I think a great one for that is Poison Ivy's arc, which I won't go into too much because I don't want to give you too many spoilers, but there is a mission related to her, and she was dead in the previous series, so that's very interesting to kind of see Harley's reaction to that, and then learning more about their relationship through that way as well. So that was really cool.
Oh, so the Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, this is the same universe as the Arkham series?
Yes, so like the Penguin's there, he's a little arms dealer, and he's from the previous sort of Arkham games as well.
Right.
They spoke a little bit in some of their like other coverage as well, outside of the preview event, that they had a really gritty take on Gotham because that's a Batman game, and Metropolis, this city that you're in, it's nothing like that really, because it's big, it's beautiful. I think it's twice as big as Gotham in Arkham Knight, so it's massive, super bright, super colourful. It's kind of like a circus compared to Gotham, with all of these massive posters everywhere that's propaganda-led art of the Justice League. Like, this is a city that loves its heroes. And speaking to the game director about that as well, it was very much emphasised that this is kind of like hero worship 101, and the city's very symbiotic with their heroes in that relationship, not like Gotham where Batman's a bit of like a vigilante hero. And seeing that kind of difference and this very colourful take on a new world with colourful characters, with all of these different graphics that come up when you're beating the beams out of people, you know, and there's money signs coming up, there's different graphics coming everywhere that make it very arcadey. I think the tone and the style of it is a really great indicator of kind of the gameplay you're getting and how you feel. It's chaotic, it's fun, it's jumping around, it's being very messy in the best possible way. Like, it lives and breathes its ethos.
And can you talk a little bit then about the gameplay that you experienced? Like, what was the gameplay loop that you did?
Yeah, so we actually got a massive chunk of gameplay, which is amazing. I love it when you get to really dig into something. Hate it because I'm like, oh man, I want to see what's happening. Like, I'm so invested. But we got to see a really good chunk of basically meeting our Suicide Squad, watching them gear up in the Hall of Justice, which I mentioned earlier, which is a really neat little scene where you get loads of foreshadowing for who the Justice League are. So you get to talk to their avatars, interact with different powers and abilities and relics from their adventures and heroic works throughout time. And basically you get a lot of context clues that, again, if you're unfamiliar, pave the way for understanding the wider universe. And if you are familiar, gives you a little bit of like, okay, right, this is kind of the characterization of these people that I've known for so long, these comic book characters that I know really well. And you eventually steal your traversal items. So everybody has a different way of getting around the map, and that is what makes them feel so unique, I think. The traversal was my favorite thing to experience. So Harley uses Batman's little bat drone and a grappling hook, so she's swinging around on a rope the whole time. Again, acrobatic lady. She's so good. I don't know how she keeps her fitness up.
With the acrobatics?
Yeah, but just, I would be out of breath, is all I'm saying.
Right, okay.
King Shark is a demigod, so he's just powered up with magical Atlantis juice that lets him jump really high and jump really low, as in come down very fast, and run really fast. It kind of like glows through his arms. The only thing he takes from there is the Riddler hat, which I thought was really cute. I just love King Shark. And then you've got Deadshot, who picks up a jetpack so he can fly around, and Captain Boomerang, who takes the aforementioned Speed Force gauntlet, because him and the Flash have got some serious beef. And then you come out and you're faced with alien armies. You get to jump into kind of combat with them, and then we move through and through until we end up fighting the Flash in the boss battle. So kind of combat is very punchy, it's very fast, everybody's talking to each other, everybody's got a funny line to say. It all feels very unstructured in a very structured way, if that makes sense. Like there's a million things going on, but it feels like it's intended. So I'm getting a little bit like, in Arkham Knight, Rocksteady introduced this amazing mechanic of fighting with an AI partner. The fight would be happening organically, but it would feel almost directed. Like they would have these moments where the camera would change and there'd be these amazing like double moves. It's kind of like that. You, the player, is making your choices how you're undertaking combat, but the game is kind of responding to that really well and slickly. I think so. I think it's because you can have the 4-player co-op. Like there is those cinematic moments that are just created by everybody jumping in and doing different things, and when you do your special ability that's kind of like your one-shot kill, then you get a little camera close-up and see something like really cool, like King Shark smacking someone's face off the pavement or something like that, or Harley jumping in with a baseball bat and smashing someone's head in or breaking their knees, you know what I mean? Like it's quite violent as well. Yeah, it's an 18 rated game, and they definitely play into that with the nasty things that happen. There's the threat of their heads exploding at any second, which is why they're forced into doing these missions as well. There was definitely signs of other people being afflicted with this hindrance that had not survived. As we walked around, we saw some great puddles. So that was quite fun to see as well. But yeah, combat-wise, the flow is definitely there, and the city is so big and there's so much verticality to it. It's all skyscrapers. Brainiac is absolutely huge and looming over everything. Like you're encouraged to go up as high as possible, fight aliens from the ground, from above, just get right in the mix and kind of have these mid-air super heroic clashes. It's very comic book coded, it's over the top, it's extravagant, it's it's fun, it's really fun, it's chaotic. I feel like this game embodies chaos in the best possible way, and my favourite part of all of that is kind of in the mini games and the mini challenges you have across the map with the so-called like support squad, which are your NPC supporting characters that kind of help you out along the way. So if you've seen any of the trailers, you might have seen this incorporeal electric lady that helps you get into electronics by being electric, It
will help, yeah.
And you've got Penguin doing your arm stealing. There's Toy Man who comes into it as well, and a guy called Gizmo who makes you cars. Now,
nice.
These are flying cars,
okay,
right? And this was my favourite mini challenge, because basically you go to a section of the map and he's like, I need you to destroy loads of vehicles, but I'm going to give you a vehicle to destroy all of the vehicles with. And it's just you shooting rockets out of a flying car and crashing them into stuff and exploding them. And
sold.
As you kind of unlock stuff like that, you get to be able to use them as drops later in the game too, so they can support you in your other missions. I really liked the adaptability of that, and it all adds to the story, and there are so many different things, Riddler challenges, different races you can do where you're going up the side of buildings and seeing who can come first. You got that competitive element within your co-op as well.
And how is this kind of like laid out? Are you just exploring the open world and coming across stuff? Is it quite like breadcrumb led? Is it like, do you sign up to a mission? How does it work?
You're given missions by Amanda Waller. Like you've got your main path at all given moments. She is not letting you go anywhere else. She's very aggressive about it. So you've always got something on task that you can be doing, but there is the option to go off course and help these other people. It's open world in that sense, where you can go and do other little missions and see things as they crop up on your map. There's lots of different markers and ways that you can go across to find things, but you're very much driven by your main story cinematic arc, and the cutscenes are divine. Like they are so deliciously rendered. This PS5 power is there because they look very, very fancy.
And I know there's been a lot of talk about kind of loot and things in the game. Is this like a Destiny style, or is loot less of a sort of constant concern?
It comes at the end of combat encounters. You get kind of a little reward and a little review of who was the best, which I enjoyed a lot. Basically, whoever does the most damage and does the most most impressive stuff in an encounter becomes the leader of the squad and can choose the markers on the map for the
that's
next
cool.
place. But you also get rewarded with different like modifications, weapons, and a lot of them are kind of themed around supervillains or superheroes from DC Comics universe as well. So King Shark had this massive black mask gun, which would put like marks on characters with a black mask above them, which would make them like targets, and then you do different damage to them. So the loot is impressive, but I don't think it's the focus of the game. It's about building your character through like the RPG system more than anything, unlocking skills and abilities and trees, and kind of honing in on what your character is going to be within the character themselves. So you could have a very melee focused King Shark, you could have a very heavy guns focused King Shark, you could have someone that's balanced in between the two, and the same with all the other characters as well. There's different things that you can lean on within them to make them unique, and then that's reflected in the weapons that you choose as well, because all of them kind of specialize in different things. They can use the majority of stuff, but you know, I'm going to be seeing Harley with a pistol and King Shark with a minigun and Boomerang with a shotgun, and then Deadshot with like impressive fancy guns. You know, I literally know no other gun names. So.
Okay. Well, you were doing so well.
Yeah.
I thought I was with a gun expert. Ash, I've spoken to you long enough about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Apart from, I need to know, when's it coming out?
It is coming out on the 2nd of February.
That's like no time at all.
PS5. I'm going to get to dive in and experience the joy of King Shark and also his friends.
I've got to be honest, I am excited to play as King Shark.
Yeah, he's just a good boy.
Who wouldn't want to be an anthropomorphic shark? Well, thank you so much for talking to me about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. As we said, you can get your hands on it for yourself on the 2nd of February. I would like to invite you, Ash, to join me in my squad of supervillains turned good.
Well, we're going to have to argue over who's the shark.
Oh, that's a good point. I'd like to renege on my invitation.
I saw you as a Harley player. I thought you'd be swinging all over the map with the little Batman.
Maybe. The little Batman?
Yeah. Well, I guess it's the drone. That counts.
I'm tempted by Deadshot. I like hanging back and doing amazing shooting.
He does feel very like, wow, okay, Deadshot. That was very cool.
Thank you for talking to me. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. Give this video a like if you listen this far, and subscribe. Unless you are already subscribed, in which case unsubscribe and subscribe again.
No.
Yes, do it.
Don't
Go
risk
on.
it.
Yeah, for fun. Actually, no, don't do that. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you again soon.